Okay, when you think Nelson Mandela, some think Bruce Patterson. Others don't. For example, Freeholder Mirabella here.
I want to echo Freeholder Jallo's comments about Nelson Mandela. I'm not exactly sure how Mr. Patterson and Mr. President Mandela belong in the same sentence, but I'll leave that up to other people to determine. I do want to mention a couple of things. Next Friday, there is an extension of the Union County Means Business program.
Now, it's an odd thing in that I don't think that came about because of this statement when Bruce was up there, and he wasn't actually saying he was Mandela. He was kind of saying, well, you could see, here's what he said.
Good evening, Chairman Pro Tem Hudak, ladies and gentlemen, the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson Garwood. I would hope that we're actually going, as the public, we're going to get an answer to Tina Rena's questions, because she brings up interesting things. I'll tell you, it's like, every time I listen to her, I keep thinking this place is like a criminal organization. It's like you're protecting your own, And that, just a segue, Nelson Mandela, he passed away, and he was an icon for fighting injustice. And basically, a lot of these public that show up here are doing a similar life. They're fighting the injustice of what this system has become. And if you listen to Tina Rena, she points it out pointedly that you're just protecting and self-serving, and you're switching things around. We got County Manager Faiello, doing a reorganization. It'll be interesting to find out how he reorganizes. Is he going to cut 10% of the workforce? I don't know. That'll be a question in the future.
So basic point is, does Mirabella have it in for you for some reason, twisting your words and making you appear foolish?
Yeah, the problem with Mirabella is because I rub him the wrong way, and the reason why I rub him the wrong way, because I brought up a couple times, his brother was a cop in Garwood, and he had 2 criminal charges lodged against him, and actually Freeholder Mirabella was chairman of the Freeholder Board in that October. I forgot what year it was, maybe 2009 or 2010. But anyway, Chairman Mirabella was Freeholder chair at that point when his brother, the cop, had 2 criminal charges lodged against him. The Garwood Borough asked the prosecutors to come down to review the charges, and they kind of dismissed it. And, of course, we know that the freeholders more or less controlled Romankow and the freeholder, and the prosecutors, used them as their own little agenda arm, political agenda. So anyway, so I brought that up a couple times. Oh, yeah, and it was hidden. It was actually hidden away where the public didn't know it until 5 months later, well after the election, because Mirabella was also up in the election. That's when somebody tipped off Tina and the Watchdogs that Mirabella's brother, the Garwood cop, was basically almost arrested. He wasn't arrested, but he had 2 criminal charges lodged against him. So, that I bring up. Digging into Mirabella, that he's no saint. He's just part of the criminal organization. He was able to, sweep this under the rug until somebody tipped off the Watchdogs. So, I got up and John Burry put it on, the video just before. But I talked about Nelson Mandela, and he's an icon. He's an icon to us activists for uncovering injustice. And I mentioned that much of the public who shows up every night, and not every night, every freeholder meeting, and the watchdogs that show up every freeholder meeting, actually they're activists, and they expose the injustice against the taxpayers with so much waste and abuse of taxpayer money by these freeholders who are basically clueless. They're clueless. They don't even know how to probably run a lemonade stand. They'd probably fail at that too. But anyway, so I mentioned Nelson Mandela and how great also the public and the watchdogs are doing in uncovering so much stuff that they seem to just sweep under the rug or look the other way about. So at the end, Mirabella, and you saw the video that Mirabella talked about, he goes, he found it inappropriate or something, that Patterson and Mandela would be mentioned in the same sentence. But the strange thing was, and I was half expecting it, when Mirabella mentioned the name Mandela, I thought Mirabella's tongue was going to explode in flames or something, because he shouldn't even be thinking about Mandela, because he is completely opposite. He's of the dark side, where Mandela is of the good.